What's up, Spellslingers? Today we're going to take a look at the most fun you can have in M20 Standard right now, in my opinion. My name is Blakeizen, and this is Chandra and the boys. Now, this is a list I've been working on since M20 was released, but I do want to say the spoilers had me very excited about Elementals. When we got the spoilers for Omnath, Locust of the Roil, and Risen Reef, along with the Creeping Trailblazer, I was just like, alright, there's some Elementals here at some point. But what I didn't realize was that I was going to be playing a whole lot of red elementals. So we're starting with essentially a base red deck, made significantly easier by unclaimed territory here, where the only non-red things we're casting are creatures, and they're all elementals. So that unclaimed territory is an absolute godsend in this deck. But if you haven't seen, Risen Reef is one of the best card engines, draw engines, ramp engines that I've seen in a long time. This card is absolutely hilarious and will run over the game all by itself if you let it. This thing absolutely needs to get dealt with the turn it comes down if you are, trying to not lose the game on the spot. So, starting off here, we've got our Fire Shrine Keeper. This one will be rotating in the fall, but for right now we get to play him. He's a 1/1 for 1 red. He has Menace. In the entire time I've been playing this deck, I've never used his ability. We have usually won the game by then, or just absolutely not needed it. But the Menace is pretty awesome, and he kind of looks like a robot. I'm pretty into mecha, so this dude gets a solid spot at the house for me. Moving down, we've got the Beta Liquor Scorch Spitter. He's a 1/1 for 1 red, also an elemental. Whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. This gets pretty lethal when you start stacking Creeping Trailblazers and throwing other 1/1 elementals at your opponent's face. So just a 1/1 by himself, but he does the 1 damage. Do note that it doesn't say target, so it just if they have hexproof, they're just going to take that 1 damage still. Doesn't matter. Chandra's Embercat, just a 2/2 for 2, not bad. Lets us get to our Omnath early, our Chandra Novice Pyromancer early, or just lets us run out a Risen Reef and a 1-drop on turn 3, which is also a pretty good play. Pretty solid card, just a standard 2/2 dude. We don't always use its mana ability, but when we do, we really try to get extra triggers off our other cards. We're running 2 Thunderkin Awakener. I've been kind of on the fence about this one. It in some matchups it feels pretty good, in others it feels pretty lackluster, but if they have spot removal to your Risen Reef, you can slam this thing down the turn after and get that Risen Reef back. And he doesn't say exile, as part of his effect. So at the end of your turn, at the beginning of the next end step, rather, you put that Risen Reef back into the graveyard. You sacrifice it. So you can just keep getting that same one back over and over and over, getting a single Risen Reef activation off of just attacking with Thunderkin, and it stays on the battlefield until your turn is over, so you can still play Elementals after the fact. Pretty decent, just a 1/2. I think if it was a 2/1, it would have been too good. But anyhow, Creeping Trailblazer, 2/2 for 2. This is our Lord effect, and it has a very relevant second ability. You will be using that to pressure. Most often has been Esper in my playtesting, but given the +1/+0, very strong for our 1-drops. So you play Scorch Spitter on turn 1, you play this thing on turn 2, Creeping Trailblazer, and now your Scorch Spitter is getting in for 3 essentially. And that makes for a pretty powerful 1-drop, or Fire Shrine being a 2/1 with Menace. So tapping 2 colorless, a red and a green, gives him a +1/+1 effect until end of turn for each elemental you control. Doesn't have to tap. You can do, if you have 8 mana available, 2 green and 2 red, you can do it twice and buff 2 times for each elemental you control. So pretty relevant. A lot of synergies in this deck built around having elementals on board, and this is just one more of those cards that capitalize on it. I'm running 1 Chandra's Regulator. I think this card is super fun, has stolen a few games, and definitely kept me in a couple others just off of maintaining the card advantage that I want. Discarding all those dead mountains or steam vents off the top and just trying to find another card. Paying the 1 extra to get a double Chandra ability from either Chandra Planeswalker has been super solid as well, and pretty game changing. I think you can probably cut this card if you want to and run a 4th Omnath, but it's just super fun and I wanted to play it, so here it is. 2 Lava Coil. There's a lot of fat stuff running around, still rekindling Phoenix in our face all the time. Pretty useful 2 cost removal here. The old lightning strike. We wanna go face sometimes with our burn, so that's what this is here for. Is quick removal. We really need removal when we're playing a deck that wants to go wide like this, and this just kind of plays like some more Omnaths and things like that. So this dude right here, Risen Reef, when he or another elemental enters the battlefield under your control, you look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. You should probably just do that anyways. If you don't put the card onto the battlefield, put it into your hand. So if you'd like to put it in your hand, you can. If it's a card that's not a land, you can essentially just put it in your hand. It doesn't say draw, so this still circumvents that Narset effect, and you just go nuts. We're running these 8 1-drop elementals, so on turn 4, if we had a bunch of them, we can keep like machine gunning them, pow, 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 just elemental after elemental after elemental. Very important interaction in this deck is between Risen Reef and Chandra Acolyte of Flame, because her second ability says create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Generally, if you have both cards in your hand, you're going to play the Chandra first, make your 2/2 tokens, get in for 2. She has a better chance of staying around until next turn, so on your 4th turn, you play Risen Reef and activate Chandra, so you get 3 total Risen Reef triggers from just playing, him plus Chandra activation. Every now and then, you're going to use the first ability just to make sure Chandra Acolyte of Flame stays alive, but this is a pretty aggressive deck. More often than not, you're going to be using the middle ability, and sometimes you will make use of the -2. So I had a couple games ago where I had a Chandra on board, I played the middle ability, played the Chandra from hand, -2, grabbed a lightning strike out of the bin, hit him in the face, and 2 more on board. So found lethal off 2 Chandra. So that -2 is pretty relevant, and it does let you just flex in some more spells if you'd really like to. Omnath is the big boy, the creature, the legendary elemental himself. When he enters the battlefield, he deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on target elemental you control. If you control 8 or more lands, draw a card. Having this guy behind Risen Reef, and possibly having like a Chandra, or even just playing your elementals onto board, really gets crazy. You end up drawing a lot of cards, putting a +1/+1 counter on something very, very frequently, making your stuff really big, and you just keep getting bigger and bigger while, as much mana as you have available, as many elementals as you can find in your hand, you end up amassing your board, making big dudes, and just really getting there with Omnath. This guy is absolutely nuts. He's a finisher. He's good early. He's good mid. He's good late. Just a really solid all around 4-drop that we do not mind ramping into from Chandra the Ember Cat. Now, Chandra Novice Pyromancer, I thought about not really running. I tried running her as a one-of, tried not running her, but once I figured out that her -2 was extremely relevant, just doubling down on a couple of extra removal, or even the interaction with Chandra's Regulator, you can really get some tough stuff out of the way. And her +1 in this deck is absolutely a win condition sometimes. Just from what we're trying to do, making a very wide board state, she gives all those things +2/+0, and I have done it with Chandra's Regulator. Just want to say, having a 7/1 Scorch Bitter was pretty hilarious. So that is the deck. I'm having a blast playing this thing. We're just about back to platinum. Haven't had much time to, grind the ranks out, but really, really, really enjoying this deck. I think it has probably a better build somewhere out there I haven't seen, but I know a lot of excitement is around the Elemental Shell right now. So this is my list. This is how I've been playing it. I love tribal decks, and I love getting my dudes sideways. So if you like the deck, if you've been liking my articles on Aether Hub, just show me some love and leave a sub. But with that, we're going on to the gameplay. Hope you guys enjoy. Like the same hand, with more lands. How colorful. We run 8 1-drops. and didn't get one in our opening hand for 2 games. Man. Ordering right there because it's more relevant to kill the 2-2 than the 2-1.
I'm Chandra. Nice to meet you. Whoosh! Up in flames! Let's burn brighter! I just want to hug all those fire critters.
Relevant. Trample, haste. Okay, so you gotta punch Chandra. Why are people running this card all of a sudden? Oh, there we go. Draw an elemental. You can do it. That is not an elemental. Okay, we can get the other Risen Reef back with that. It's pretty good. Even if he doesn't attack, we're just gonna run all our shit in, so we can lava pull that thing too. There's no way he attacks with that. Fire Shrine Keeper gets Menace, so I think we kill him if we do that. Actually, I don't think he will. We did it. Elementals stole the game. Yeah, I mean that list is not bad. It is not bad. We go first. We find another land. We're in business. Stomping ground. So we've got Shrine Keeper into Trailblazer. Not bad. Or removal. And we're just looking to get to 3 now. We have, red, green, and blue available. We don't play any blue cards. We only play blue elementals. So, since we don't see anything, I'm just going to punch for 2. Oh, man. I'm glad the fireworks stopped. There's a lot going on right outside my window. But I really shouldn't say anything. I went out there and shot some very large ones myself. Okay, he takes Chandra here. For sure. He has a way harder time dealing with Planeswalker than he does a 1/1. Just took him a little longer to get there. What's good, Lemon? My buzz is worn off. Sucks. Aw, no land. Man. It hurts. Took a look at the list that Gumi put together for you on your green-blue ramp, and it looks pretty decent. I wouldn't change much. I mean, you want to... after you've got that deck, running, start moving away from the stuff that doesn't work that good. That's pretty much the only thing you can do. You start transitioning that deck over into one of the tier 1 top tier decks, or you just leave it alone if you like playing it the way it is. So it is a solid list. Dual lands are going to be your best friend, and since some are rotating, I would go for the shock lands. In that one it would be Breeding Pool, and then the whatever temple card you have one of already. That's what we would do. Okay, Crag. We're probably... I feel like if you play this Risen Reef, we run that into Kaya's Wrath.
Yo, what's up, Blake?
What's good, man?
Hey, you want to play a few games?
I will. I will.
Right, I'm going to finish up these games, and then I'll come back.
Oh, there we go. I'll play whatever, dude. You're going to give me some limitations. Go for it.
Alright. I'll be back in a bit.
Yeah, so we did run out in Kaya's Wrath. We hit him for 2 here, and we threaten lethal with our double lightning strike that he knows about. So he does have to handle both Chandra and a lightning strike this turn. So just slapping Teferi down doesn't cut it. Oath of Kaya won't cut it. That doesn't cut it. So, even though we extended too hard into... Oh, we didn't find a land. That's funny. Even though nothing.
Don't worry, I brought company.
One land. So he's looking to play that Oath of Kaya. We still have him.
Thoughtfulness before action.
Kaya's Wrath doesn't help him. That Oath of Kaya puts him at 4. We have 5 that we're showing. Double Oath of Kaya would do it though. I did some reinstalling of the stuff last night before I went to sleep, so I'm sure that's what it was. Sure, that's what it was. Think he's got a Dovin's Veto?
Oh, they're so cute.
I bet anything he's got Dovin's Veto. I love that this deck plays one copy of that card and they always have it. Okay. It's not the same. We have Othkai. We're not going to play the Storm Spitter. Actually, yeah, we are. It'd be pretty silly for him to Kaya's Wrath the only 1/1 on the board. They always have a veto. Yeah, you are not wrong. That's weird though. I mean, this is a tech against you know, mono red. So show me what you got. Yo, I'm pretty stoked. I almost didn't stream just because of Stranger Things. Just saying. Okay. Bounce Chandra. Lose to Scorch Spitter. Okay. 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 Alright. Alright. Do we do it, little buddy? We get in there with the beta liquor? Yeah. We did? Kaboom. GG Esper. Not really. Well, I mean, you didn't play when Solemn Simulacrum was out, man. That thing was a 4. You could run Solemn Simulacrum in any deck. It would. Oh, this is a pretty good hand. This is a 1-of. Just want you to know that. So Solemn Simulacrum was a 4-cost, 4 colorless. It was an artifact creature, 2/2. That. Which one do we want more? I think we want the Keeper more, so we're just gonna let this one get shocked. It was a 4/4, or I'm sorry, a 4 colorless, 2/2. That whenever it entered the battlefield, you went and got a land just out of your deck. You just went and found one, and then when it died, you drew a card. You could use that in any deck to ramp from 4 to 6, and you got a card draw after it. Reef is a really weak creature though. Like just by itself, it costs 3 for a 1/1. So it's a slow card. It just happens to be pretty good with all math and stuff. Okay, well that is not what we were really looking to do, but we're gonna full swing at that Domri because we are not dealing with that. So if he blocks this, it takes 1, 2, 3. So we just need to go ahead.
Oh, you trying to knock me down? No, I'm not finished with you.
Yeah, it does give you a boatload of card advantage. It still requires you to have stuff in your hand to gain that card advantage, but it does do it. Freaking Phoenix, okay. That was incorrect. Just top deck better than your opponent. That's all you gotta do. He's probably got another one in his hand or something though. The coolest thing about Thunderkin Elemental is that it doesn't exile the thing you brought back. It just keeps throwing the same thing back into the graveyard. So that's why I was running it to get my Risen Reefs back. I swear. I mean, do we care? Let's see, we know we attack with this one. He blocks this, takes 2, 3. Goes to 9. We play Embercat. We've got 2 guys left, 3 guys left, 4 damage. Can we kill this? We can't kill this if we lose 1 extra creature. And he plays a Planeswalker, which I don't know. He might. I'm just gonna go for it. Just send it, full send. Alright, and this Ember Cat actually lets us cast on that. So, that's cool. Okay, that's not a Planeswalker. Also not a Planeswalker. So we're gonna nuke the Hydra. It's a risky attack, bro. And then we're just gonna get sideways. He has to double block that one. Krinko? What? Did not expect to see that, homie. Alright, so we can... I guess that's the best thing. We can ramp Embercat. We can remove Krinko. Should probably just remove Krinko. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's way harder for him to deal with if we move it. Like once I made it to that one, I was like, yeah, that's the best play.
I'm gonna try something new.
He would have to double block here, but he's probably gonna. Okay. Omnath is for sure the best card in the deck. Nah, I wouldn't be too aggressive on that. But how many do you need? Like seriously, how many wild cards do you need? We go first. We got Reef into Omnath, which is pretty good. It's kind of. I mean, I'd really rather see a 1-drop. We play 8 of them for a reason. 2 Mythic Chandra, that's it. So if I gift you 3,600 gems or whatever, you're going to be good to go. I'm not sure which way I want to play this. Yeah, I am. So if we play Embercat, we can do Reef and Fire Shrine Keeper next turn, so that's pretty good. It's just $20, bro. Oh god, we probably have to kill that though, right? Yeah, probably. So in that case, we do it this way. We just go ahead and Omni Bro. I call half the cards in the game bro. Yeah, but you're the you're the consistent one. The dude that I can count on. So we Reef. Scorch Spitter, okay. What do we like, Scorch Spitter or Firekeeper? I mean, we can do both, but I'd rather punch him for 2 right here. Because he's probably just going to Kaya's Wrath if we play one more. I mean, this is a good enough Kaya's Wrath right here, so it's a tricky one. I guess it's not too bad. We give up the Shrine Keeper. Okay. Get a pretty good one into hand. If he Kaya's Wrath, we start the same board state over. What kind of deck are you leaning towards, though? Like Grixis? I would very, very much like to play Grixis control right now with, you know, new Chandra, big Chandra. Okay. Not a Kaya's Wrath. Not a Kaya's Wrath. Just make the call that he doesn't have it. And cross our fingers. Okay. Doesn't really matter because Reef's so ridiculous of a card. We just keep filling up the board anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's gonna take that Omnath. Okay. Don't care what he bounces. We get an extra trigger off of Reef. Even from Reef. So yes. Okay. Just thank you for the trigger. Alright. So we say like this. I mean, just keep playing. This is the reason we're playing 8 1-drops, because we just keep to get to like machine gun Risen Reef just over and over. Such a ridiculous engine. He really needs a Kai's Wrath. Of course, also Cry the Carnarium gets him here. Okay. I think we could Lightning Strike that in response to not let him gain 3 life, but it doesn't matter because it would deal 3 damage anyways. So he's at 12, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Unlucky. Oh, he's at 1. Oh, wait a minute. We just make him have veto right here. Okay. Close. Just whatever.
Sorry I'm late.
I don't think there's a card that he can maybe have Moment of Craving. That would get him out of it, I think. Moment of Craving that goes up to 7. GG Esper.